Now, as Donald Trump won the United States election, his opponent, Kamala Harris, conceded defeat. In her speech, she acknowledged that the outcome of the election was not what they wanted. But she added, the light of America's promise will continue to burn bright as long as we never give up and we keep on fighting. Her supporters cheered her, even though she admitted it was very painful to lose the elections. She told the supporters that they need to keep on fighting. She specifically called out the young people she sought to organize, acknowledging the loss. She said the loss is hurting, but the work is not yet over. She urged her supporters to accept her defeat in the 2024 presidential elections, but she promised that she would help Donald Trump with the transition.
My heart is full today. My heart is full today, full of gratitude for the trust you have placed in me, full of love for our country, and full of resolve. The outcome of this election is not what we wanted, not what we fought for, not what we voted for, but hear me when I say, the light of America's promise will always burn bright. As long as we never give up and as long as we keep fighting. A fundamental principle of American democracy is that when we lose an election, we accept the results. That principle, as much as any other, distinguishes democracy from monarchy or tyranny. And anyone who seeks the public trust must honor it. At the same time, in our nation, we owe loyalty not to a president or a party, but to the Constitution of the United States. And loyalty to our conscience and to our God. My allegiance to all three is why I am here to say, while I concede this election, I do not concede the fight that fueled this campaign. Now, I know folks are feeling and experiencing a range of emotions right now. I get it. But we must accept the results of this election. Earlier today, I spoke with President-elect Trump and congratulated him on his victory. I also told him that we will help him and his team with their transition, and that we will engage in a peaceful transfer of power. To the young people who are watching, it is... I love you. To the young people who are watching, it is okay to feel sad and disappointed, but please know it's going to be okay. On the campaign, I would often say, when we fight, we win. But here's the thing. Sometimes the fight takes a while. That doesn't mean we won't win. That doesn't mean we won't win. The important thing is don't ever give up. Don't ever give up. Don't ever stop trying to make the world a better place. You have power. You have power. And don't you ever listen when anyone tells you something is impossible because it has never been done before.
America elected its next president yesterday, and Donald Trump will be America's 47th president. And today in Washington, D.C., a lot of things happened. First, President Biden issued a statement letting everybody know that he had congratulated Vice President Kamala Harris on a very hard-fought campaign, and he also picked up the phone to congratulate President-elect Donald Trump. Now, he also said in the same statement that he has invited President Trump to the White House. These are the standard operating procedures that usually happen after election. Vice President Kamala Harris, who skipped giving a speech at the Harvard University last night, went back to Harvard University today. She started her concession speech at 4 p.m., in which she talked about how important this race was. She started off by thanking her supporters, her voters, her family, her staff, and everybody on the campaign. She then let everybody know that she picked up the phone to call and congratulate President Trump on his victory. It was a tough speech for Vice President Kamala Harris. You could probably see her voice cracking at few times. She talked about how she only had about 107 days to run this campaign, and she did everything that she could to win this campaign. She made points such as that she's conceding this race, but not conceding on the issues that she fought for. She also talked to the youth of this country and said that you should not throw your hands up in the air. Rather than that, roll up your sleeves and get working. Now, this is very important speech, one of the most important speeches of Kamala Harris. Probably a historic campaign, the shortest campaign that we've seen in modern times. But she also talked about something she has been talking about on the campaign trail, the transfer of power. She said she will help President Trump for a peaceful transfer of power. And remember, this is the same Kamala Harris. During the campaign, she had been saying that if she loses, America could well go to become a dictatorship, a tyranny. So it was pretty ironic that she had called Donald Trump and offered everything that she can do to make sure there is a peaceful transfer of power here in Washington, D.C. President Trump is now expected to come to Washington, D.C. He will be meeting up with President Biden, and they will charter the next path, which would be to make sure that Trump's transitional team gets whatever it needs to set up its own administration that will start functioning after Trump takes oath on January 20th, 2025. This is Rohit Sharma for India Today, Washington, D.C.